Anyone who rides in India knows the rhythm of our streets. It's a dense, chaotic mix of traffic where every inch matters. Choosing the motorcycle you ride every single day dictates exactly how you experience that chaos. When you step up to a budget of 2 lakh rupees, something important happens. You cross the line from buying a basic necessity to actually choosing how you want to ride. The problem is, most people just look at top 10 sales figures and buy whatever sits at number 1. If you do that, you end up buying a machine perfectly optimized for someone else's commute, instead of your own. To see why, we have to look at this quadrant chart. This maps out all 10 of India's best-selling bikes under 2 lakh. The vertical axis measures maximum fuel efficiency and practicality, while the horizontal axis plots engine power, heritage, and pure emotion. Notice this clear downward trend. Look at the polar ends of this chart. High up on the practical axis, you have a 100cc ultra commuter like the Hero Splendor. Way over on the far right, you have a heavy 350cc cruiser like the Royal Enfield Classic 350. As the trend line shows, you cannot have both. Moving toward higher engine displacement and aggressive styling inherently pulls down your fuel efficiency, and your daily running costs go up. This continuum forces a hard choice. You have to look honestly at the roads you navigate Monday through Friday, rather than the open highways you dream about for Sunday. Navigating this specific price bracket means throwing out direct spec sheet comparisons. You have to match a bike's functional tier to the exact reality of your daily ride. Let's start with the bikes built specifically for the density of a crowded Indian market. We call these the pragmatists: the Splendor Plus, HF Deluxe, Honda Shine, and Unicorn. The engineers behind these 100 to 125cc engines stripped out anything unnecessary. They optimized for consistent reliability and low running costs, ensuring the bike starts every morning and rarely visits the mechanic. Look at the seating geometry on the Honda Unicorn and Shine. You sit perfectly upright. When you spend 2 hours a day feathering the clutch in bumper-to-bumper traffic, that neutral posture is what keeps your lower back from cramping. This comparison matrix breaks down exactly why these bikes dominate sales. Look at the high claimed KMPL figures for the Unicorn and Shine, sitting right here in the sweet spot of displacement and efficiency. But look what happens when we switch the focus from mileage to highway top speeds. The figures for the Splendor and HF Deluxe drop off significantly. Without racing tech, these machines struggle if you need to execute a quick overtake at 80 kilometers per hour. You also accept a visual compromise. You trade sharp, aggressive styling for neutral, blending in with the crowd bodywork. A pragmatic rider views this motorcycle as a highly optimized financial tool. The design focuses on eliminating commute fatigue and preserving your budget. If you want your daily ride to carry some actual thrill, you move into the urban sport hybrids. This is where the Yamaha MT-15 V2, TVS Apache Series, Bajaj Pulsars, and the Raider 125 sit. Bikes like the MT-15 and the Apache integrate genuine track technology into a commuter frame. With liquid cooling and variable valve actuation, the engine stays cool in heavy traffic while delivering sharp, high-revving power exactly when you twist the throttle. But this graphic, mapping out the racing DNA tax, shows the immediate financial impact of those additions. As you add liquid cooling and VVA to the MT-15 and Apache, watch how rapidly that upfront cost meter climbs. This is where a bike like the TVS Raider 125 carves out its niche. It keeps the sharp styling and the colorful TFT screens, but drops the complex engine cooling and valves, bringing the overall cost way back down. There is a physical trade-off here too. To handle cornering at higher speeds, the suspension on street fighters is tuned stiff. When you hit a pothole on your morning route, you will feel that impact directly in your spine. Pushing a smaller engine to high RPMs means more frequent trips to the service center, and those complex electronics cost more to maintain over time. Bajaj approaches this by offering the Pulsar in multiple displacement sizes, from 125 all the way to 200cc, letting you dial in the exact ratio of power to maintenance cost you are comfortable with. Buying an urban sport hybrid means making a conscious choice to pay a premium. You accept a stiffer ride and higher bills in exchange for speed, style, and tech on city streets. Then we step into the territory of the premium heritage heavyweights. specifically looking at the Royal Enfield Classic 350 and its sibling, the Hunter 350. The Classic 350 offers immense road presence and unshakable stability out on the highway. There is a deep, emotional connection to that thumping engine that you simply cannot get from a plastic-clad street fighter. To get that planted feel, you are hauling a massive amount of metal. That heavy curb weight and larger 350cc engine drastically cut your fuel efficiency compared to every other bike on this list. This decision tree maps out the internal logic for Royal Enfield buyers. If heritage brand value is your priority, the next split forces you to look at your daily environment. Do you ride in heavy city traffic? If you answer yes, you land on the Hunter 350. By taking the classic 350cc engine and dropping it into a much shorter wheelbase and lighter frame, Royal Enfield built a machine specifically for cutting through urban congestion. But picking the Hunter over the Classic means giving up the plush, long travel suspension. You lose that floating big bike comfort on longer highway stretches. Keep in mind, even the most compact 350cc cruiser is still a heavy piece of machinery. In a dead-stop traffic jam, it will always require more physical effort to maneuver than a lightweight 125cc commuter. These heritage bikes command the road and dominate hearts, but they demand that you accept clear sacrifices at the fuel pump and in tight spaces. Finding the best bike under 2 lakh rupees ultimately comes down to knowing exactly which rider profile you fit into. This matrix breaks down the 3 main scenarios. First, the budget optimizer. If your priority is maximum savings and low maintenance, your primary recommendation is the smooth Honda Shine, with the Splendor Plus as your budget alternative. This bike is a specialized tool for your commute. Next, the Street Fighter. If you need sharp handling and aggressive bursts of speed, look at the Yamaha MT-15 or the TVS Apache. The Raider 125 is your budget backup. The downside here is the higher upfront cost and a much stiffer daily ride. Finally, the Legacy Rider. If highway stability and brand weight are what you want, the Classic 350 is the prime choice, with the Hunter 350 as the agile alternative. The trade-off is significantly lower fuel efficiency and heavier handling in traffic. The fastest way to buyer's remorse is lying to yourself about your commute. Buying a stiffly sprung track bike to sit in 15 kilometers of gridlock will wear you down quickly. In India, a motorcycle represents personal freedom, but the wrong machine for your specific environment becomes a daily frustration. The most valuable machine is the one engineered to conquer the specific roads you ride every single day.